This stop is Malcolm X Boulevard and West 146th Street. Next stop, Malcolm X Boulevard and West 145th Street. Transfers available to the 3 train and BX19. This stop is Malcolm X Boulevard and West 145th Street. Next stop, Malcolm X Boulevard and West 142nd Street. This stop is Malcolm X Boulevard and West 142nd Street. Next stop, West 139th Street and Malcolm X Boulevard. This stop is West 139th Street and Malcolm X Boulevard. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 138th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 138th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 137th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 137th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 135th Street. Transfer available to BX33. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 135th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 132nd Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 132nd Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 130th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 130th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 128th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 128th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 125th Street. Transfers available to M60 SBS, M101, M101 Limited, BXM2, BXM3 and BXM4. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 125th Street. Next stop, Mount Morris Park West and West 124th Street. This stop is Mount Morris Park West and West 124th Street. Next stop, Mount Morris Park West and West 121st Street. This stop is Mount Morris Park West and West 121st Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 120th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 120th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 118th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 118th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 116th Street. Transfers available to M102 and M116. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 116th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 112th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 112th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 109th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 109th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 108th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 108th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 106th Street. Transfer available to M106. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 106th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 102nd Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 102nd Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 98th Street. Transfer available to BXM2. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 98th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 96th Street. Transfer available to M96. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 96th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 94th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 94th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 92nd Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 92nd Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 90th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 90th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 87th Street. Transfers available to BXM3 and BXM4. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 87th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 84th Street. Transfer available to M86 SBS. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 84th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 81st Street. Transfer available to BXM2. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 81st Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 79th Street. Transfer available to M79 SBS. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 79th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 77th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 77th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 75th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 75th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 72nd Street. Transfer available to M72. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 72nd Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 69th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 69th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 66th Street. Transfer available to M66. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 66th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 63rd Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 63rd Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 62nd Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 62nd Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 59th Street. Transfers available to the N and W trains, Q32, QM2, QM3, QM6, QM10, QM1, QM34, QM24, QM20, QM32, QM42, QM40, QM12, QM15, QM16, QM17, QM18, BM1, BM2, BM3, BM4, BM5, BXM3, BXM4, BXM6, BXM7, BXM8, BXM9, BXM10 and BXM11. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 59th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 55th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 55th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 52nd Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 52nd Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 49th Street. Transfer available to M50. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 49th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 46th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 46th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 44th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 44th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 41st Street. Transfers available to the 7, B, D, F, M and S trains. M42, M55, QM1, QM2, QM3, QM4, QM5, QM6, QM10, QM12, QM15, QM16, QM17, QM18, QM20, QM21, QM24, QM31, QM32, QM34, QM35, QM36, SIM1, SIM1C, SIM3, SIM3C, SIM4C, SIM6, SIM9, SIM10, SIM11, SIM15, SIM22, SIM23, SIM24, SIM25, SIM26, SIM30, SIM31, SIM32, SIM33, SIM33C, SIM34, SIM35, BM1, BM2, BM3, BM4, BM5, BXM3, BXM4, BXM6, BXM7, BXM8, BXM9, BXM10 and BXM11. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 41st Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 39th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 39th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 36th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 36th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 33rd Street. Transfers available to M34 SBS, M34A SBS, BM1, BM2, BM3, BM4, BM5, SIM23 and SIM24. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 33rd Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 31st Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 31st Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 28th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 28th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 26th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 26th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 23rd Street. Transfers available to the R&W trains. M23 SBS, BXM3, BXM4, BXM6, BXM7, BXM8, BXM9, BXM10, BXM11, SIM1, SIM1C, SIM3, SIM3C, SIM4C, SIM5, SIM6, SIM7, SIM9, SIM10, SIM11, SIM11, SIM15, SIM22, SIM23, SIM24, SIM25, SIM26, SIM30, SIM31, SIM32, SIM33, SIM33C, SIM34, SIM35, BM1, BM2, BM3, BM4 and BM5. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 23rd Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 20th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 20th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 17th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 17th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 14th Street. Transfers available to the 4, 5, 6, L, N, Q, R and W trains. M14A SBS, M14D SBS, SIM1C, SIM3C, SIM4C, SIM7, SIM9, SIM33, SIM33C, X27 and X28. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 14th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 12th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 12th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 10th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 10th Street. Next stop, East 8th Street and 5th Avenue. Transfer available to M8. This stop is East 8th Street and 5th Avenue. Next stop, East 8th Street and University Place. This stop is East 8th Street and University Place. Next stop, East 8th Street and Mercer Street. This stop is East 8th Street and Mercer Street. Transfers available to the 6 R&W trains, M8, M55 and M103. Next stop, Broadway and Waverly Place. Transfers available to Sim 1C, Sim 3C, Sim 4C, Sim 7, Sim 9, Sim 33, Sim 33C, X27 and X28. This stop is Broadway and Waverly Place. Next stop, Broadway and West 3rd Street. This stop is Broadway and West 3rd Street. Next stop, Broadway and Bleecker Street. This stop is Broadway and Bleecker Street. Next stop, Broadway and West Houston Street. Transfers available to the B, D, F and M trains, M21, Sim 1C, Sim 3C, Sim 4C, Sim 7, Sim 9, Sim 33, Sim 33C and Sim 34. This stop is Broadway and West Houston Street. Next stop, Broadway and Prince Street. This stop is Broadway and Prince Street. Transfers available to the R&W trains. Next stop, Broadway and Spring Street. Transfer available to M55. This stop is Broadway and Spring Street. Next stop, Center Street and Grand Street. This stop is Center Street and Grand Street. This is M1 to SoHo Center Street. A fare is required to ride.